Welcome in, everybody, to the 2020 High School Championships presented by Corrigan Sports. We are live in Meadowood Park, Brooklynville, Maryland, for the championship game in the girls' high school division. We have got the Orange Crush, which basically is the McDonough School, the national powerhouse, taking on LGC, which is comprised of St. Paul's School for Girls athletes. And we have got a terrific game on tap. Mark Dixon here, joined by Courtney, Martinez, Connor. It has been a long spring. It has been a couple of months into the summer now as well, but it is great to see some live lacrosse.
I think this is a great event for any and all of these high school players who are looking for a little bit of finality. Some of them are in their senior year, have just finished, will be heading off to college next year. And what better way to say, hey, this is the end of my high school career. And for some of these guys, they didn't even get their freshman campaign. So to come out, battle it out with two top nationally ranked programs, I think there's nothing better.
The Crush defeated the Green Machine, which is the Bryn Mawr school, in the semifinals. LGC was able to top Deerfield out of Massachusetts in the other semi. When we look at the Crush, they are led by number 16, Izzy Marsh. She's an attack player headed to Duke University. She is a talented scorer and a playmaker for this Crush team. And again, she is committed to Duke University. And then the Crush has one of the better goaltenders in the country in Julia Hammerschlag. Hammerschlag is headed to the University of Florida, an outstanding netminder, terrific position, great reflexes. She will be a difference maker in this game for the Crush. On the other side, LGC, St. Paul's. This is a talented ball club. They are led in the midfield and on the defensive end by Josie Hunt.
Josie Hunt is a midfielder who kind of does everything between the 30s. She can score as needed. She's a defensive player who can make plays. And, you know, she is coming from a long lineage of lacrosse players. Both her dad and mom played at the University of Maryland. So for her to kind of pave her own path at Florida, you know, speaks volumes to her writing her own story. Alex Piracino is another great player for St. Paul's School for Girls, number 21. She is a midfielder who is headed to James Madison. She committed to that program right after they had won a national championship. She's a set of twins on St. Paul's, but her sister's coming back from an injury, so the team is definitely going to rely heavy on that graduating senior to come up with a win over McDonough today.
Crush versus LGC, the championship of the 2020 High School Championships, brought to you by Corrigan Sports. Our opening draw is coming right up. Do not go anywhere. Great girls high school lacrosse about to commence.
To be able to identify prospects when we're out recruiting, it's really important for us as college coaches to have accurate information in the coaches' manuals that we're given.
Whether it's live stream or on demand, I think that everyone will go the film route if we can.
Meadowood Park is the scene. You're taking a look at the Crush, a.k.a. McDonough, getting some final pregame instructions from their coaching staff. Courtney, this is a program that is loaded, nationally ranked. Every year they are a handful, and they have not disappointed so far in this tournament, being the favorite probably heading into this championship game.
Much like they were the favorite during the high school regular season, I think it's hard to coach a team as well as be a player where the target is kind of always on your back. But every year they seem to step up, continue to replace players, and to have great college careers. And so same thing for the seniors here. They're looking to end it on a positive note.
LGC huddling up on the field, getting ready for the opening draw. These two teams, two programs have a good history, especially recently. McDonough defeated St. Paul 6-5 in double overtime for the 2019 IAAM title. I'll get that one right before the broadcast is over, Courtney. They also defeated St. Paul's in overtime in the 2019 regular season. So close games are what these two teams play. It is an incredibly warm and humid day here in the Baltimore area. Temperatures in the 90s on the turf, well over 100 degrees, but these girls are out here looking to win a championship. Referee Michelle Cavallero getting set to place the ball between the draw takers, and we will get started momentarily. Kayla Abernathy taking the draw for the Crush. And away we go. Josie Hunt on the draw for LGC, and here come LGC. A little bit of a transition opportunity. Christina Gagnon steps down, well defended by Ava Class of the Crush. And LGC settling into their half-field offense.
Mark, already two names that you talked about. Christina Gagnon, obviously her mom coaches during the regular season for St. Paul's School for Girls, so many of these LGC players playing for them.
Gagnon takes a shot and scores, gets the party started, and LGC gets on the board quickly. Nice individual effort.
A focus that LGC's had been working on in their warm-up, isolating areas on the field, especially those wing dodges, looking to take isolations where there's not much help coming from that opposing defense, and that's a confidence booster when they're looking for vengeance, as a few of their players had mentioned, having those two overtime losses last season. But if you look here, that's exactly what they set up to do. They are looking for those isolations when they have those mismatches and can go hard to the cage.
LGC up 1-0. 2:25 running time halves. The second half in the last 2 minutes is start-stop. We are playing IAAM rules, as the draw after the goal by LGC is controlled by Ella Lyle of Crush, being redefended by Lauren Steer on the far side of the field. Create a turnover. Steer picks the pocket. Gagnon gets it underneath. Pass, nice one-handed collection. Pass over to Angela Pino. Pino pulls it out, surveys the field. Gets it over to Alex Parasino. Parasino to Gagnon. Gagnon passes it down low. Steer looking for the cutter, finds Parasino. Parasino, head of steam, well defended. Rolls back to her left, is hit inside, and will draw a foul. Parasino looks like she will have the first free position shot of this game.
Alex, a super shifty attacker.
Parasino shot, Hammerschlag with the save. Nice high to low offering, but gobbled up by Hammerschlag, and here come the Crush on the clear.
Is a keeper who was highly sought after in the recruiting process. She super quick hands, but she's very active outside of the goal cage as well. Her fears are really spot on. So this will be your first one of the game. I think everything kind of sets the tone from there.
Ball picked up by the Crush's Kemper Robinson. She is then fouled on the restart. Legs it across the midfield line. Robinson moving it down the side. Corey Edmondson initiating the offense for the Crush. Gets inside, shoots and scores. Edmondson, strong dodge to cage. Beats the keeper high to high, and we are tied up at 1.
Corey Edmondson, not just a great player for the Crush and McDonough during the regular season, but in the circuit, in the summer, in the fall, she was able to make first ever US U15. Again, another little feather in her cap. She has great one-on-one skills. Again, attacking midfielder. We're going to keep an eye on this game.
There you see that quick move inside and that strong high shot. She gets downhill Edmondson looks like a handful. Ensuing draw controlled by Edmondson.
We're going to see a lot of the ball getting passed around, Mark. Pretty hot out here on the turf. 10 degrees warmer than it is for every other spectators out here surrounding the field. But score a goal, take a little time off the clock. There's no
What have you seen in terms of conditioning from these girls over the last couple of days? They've obviously, this is their first competition. It's one thing to grind and train, but it's a whole nother ball of wax to go against another team.
Those team concepts, the communication, that's the kind of stuff that is intangible. You may be training on your own, but it's that extra little work that everybody kind of isn't used to. More fouls are happening, more yellow cards, just because their feet aren't used to this speed.
Turnover created by the LGC squad. Gagnon is able to pick up the ball into the offensive zone. Is Olivia Rose. LGC back on the attack. Just under 20 minutes left to go here in the first half. Crush 1, LGC 1, championship game of the 2020 High School Championship presented by Corrigan Sports. LGC operating behind the cage. This is Hahn on the wing. Cycles it back up top to Gagnon. Gagnon seems to really initiate a lot of the offense for this LGC team.
Val has great IQ, and it's kind of that QB.
Kaiten McElwee. She is a James Madison commit. Draws a double feed inside. Gagnon handles it. Shot. Hammerschlag with the saves. Nice pass, shot, save sequence right there. And here come the Crush in transition. It's Edmondson legging it out, being hounded by Hahn. Hahn with a nice little poke check. Ball's on the carpet. Picked up by Crush. Ella Lyle clears it for the black and orange.
Ella Little, a strong two-way midi, headed to UNC. She was previously committed to a different university and decided as the process continued on that to be a better fit. You know, a midi who will see involved on both ends of the field.
Rollback. Edmondson shot goes wide, backed up by Crush. And we're going to have a violation on Crush. Possession will go over to LGC.
Foul. Whenever there's a dangerous shot, it's non-releasable at the high school level. So the Crush without Corey Edmondson, the follow-through went right into that defensive player, and it was actually Lauren Steer, who's an attacker, who made the run onto the defensive end and took that shot to the face, the follow-through into the face. So now they'll play a man up, LGC.
LGC with the extra attacker. Pass goes awry, ball on the turf. 50-50 ground ball, picked up initially by Crush, but then Josie Hunt able to pick it up and elude the double team by LGC. Beating the cutting Gator, Angelina Pino. She gets fouled. Ball will stay with LGC. LGC wearing the white pennies. Crush wearing the black. Pino steps in. Nice check from behind. Ball rolls into the crease. Hammerschlag cannot corral it. Loose ball picked up then by Crush. And here come Crush. Ava Class showing some jets over the midfield. Gets it down low. Cross feed pass. Nice knockdown by the goaltender for LGC, who then flips it up to her defender. Number 35, Sophia Fui, headed to Delaware with a nice play outside of the cage. Ball to McElwee, now to Colgane. Paris Colgane, a terrific player headed to Johns Hopkins. Gets the ball behind the cage and some good up and down action. But there we see maybe some of that rust that we, some of the drop passes, and with the Fui, the goaltender, coming out of her goal crease to make a play.
Decision making, I think, is the biggest deciding factor in today's game. I think every player is in shape. It's a matter of who's going to make that smart next play.
Shot and a score. for LGC. Quick offense. And the Gators move back up by a goal. They lead 2-1.
Kendall Steer with that goal. Again, it's finding those open lanes offensively, seeing when there's a defensive player who's not in a position to slide, and Kendall Steer received the ball on the run, was able to turn the corner. She's a midfield unlike her sister, and she has speed. She has speed and can turn the corner quick with a quick release on her shot.
Kept her feet moving, receiving that feed, went down the heart of the defense, right then in between the hash marks, as you like to call it. Played collegiately with her father, Chris, at Johns Hopkins. He's got to have a smile on his face after that goal. And LGC leads 2-1. Just under 15 minutes left to go here in the first half of action. Madison Beal taking the draw for LGC. Ball down, handled nicely on the end line by Izzy Marsh, player we talked about in our open, headed to Duke University. Abbey Stapleton now checking into the contest for Crush. Gets it over to Keedy Lally, a Delaware commit. Two-man game behind the cage for Crush. Ball is in the stick of Marsh.
Mark, we see that stack up high. They're looking to clear a lane, so they have a better option at dodging around the crease without any help, while still trying to confuse the defense up top. Make sure they're having their heads on a swivel, seeing when that open attacker is there.
Ball down on the turf. Whistle keeps the ball with Orange Crush. Marsh attacking the cage, draws a double, dumps it off. Good defense, good approach by LGC. It was McKenna London for Crush. Gets it over to Hannah Shields. Shields back to Marsh.
It's the little fouls. That's where you're seeing kind of that inability that they were able to practice as a team together, those extra little pushes, which at the end of the day, those are going to be the difference makers between who comes out on top versus who doesn't.
Nice knockdown by LGC. One thing I noticed about that LGC defense is they're playing up above goal line extended, meaning they're not chasing Crush behind the cage. Is that by design?
By design, generally, since you cannot run in the crease at the high school level, that's something that's just about every single team in that IAAM division choosing man-to-man, choosing to not chase behind, since you don't have that advantage defensively.
LGC clears it successfully. Some new faces on the offensive end for the Gators. Franny Hahn handling the ball on the far side. Natalie Shirtliff giving it up to Parasino. Parasino being guarded heavily at the top of the offensive arc.
Little steer, natural lefty, looking to change the point of attack. Again, when you have defense having to turn their bodies left to right, change their angles, you have a better shot offensively. And Lauren Steer on that low lefty side, she was very active. Obviously this season was not able to happen this year, but as a freshman, she was going to be relied upon heavy.
Here come the Crush on the clearing opportunity. Ellie Eisner. She is a Columbia University commit. Gets it up to Hannah Shields. Shields over to Dakota I. I working up top, gets a step. Good defense. Pass inside, knockdown. Marsh looking to feed for Orange Crush.
Off-ball movement isn't what I'd say it normally would be had they been able to practice for a long time together. You know, both of these teams not having many practices. Number one, there's not a lot of fields that they can go to.
Sure.
I know that LGC was kicked off a field recently. So, these guys are doing really well for coming up with team concepts after not having been together for over 3 months.
Abbey Stapleton orchestrating the offense up top for Crush. Little stutter step, gets to her right. Good collapsing defense by the Gators. Foul is called against LGC. Restart, kicked in by Keedy Lally. This is Marsh operating up top. She is the quarterback of this Crush offense. Operates behind the cage, now she's working up top. LGC has done a nice job keeping her at bay thus far in the game. Marsh, nice feedback into the middle. Fake, Dakota I slams it home for Orange Crush. Beautiful look from Marsh. And I was able to throw a couple of stick fakes, elude the goaltender. We're tied at 2, and looks like we got our first water break of the afternoon.
Hey, can we raise this?
LGC 2, Crush 2, championship of the 2020 High School Championships presented by Corrigan Sports. We've got a good one going here. Don't go anywhere. We're right back after this.
To be able to identify prospects when we're out recruiting, it's really important for us as college coaches to have accurate information in the coaches' manuals that we're given.
Whether it's live stream or on demand, I think that everyone will go the film route if we can.
Here's a last goal by Crush.
You had Izzy Marsh challenging down the lane, a nice little two-man look. You had the backdoor sneak by Dakota I. Lots of fakes in there.
Yeah.
Lots
like
of fakes.
that, don't you?
I do.
Great crowd on hand, checking out some girls high school lacrosse here at Meadowood Park, Brooklynville, Maryland. 2-2 is your score. LGC and Crush. LGC, St. Paul's, and Crush, McDonough. What stands out to you so far in this one?
It's a matter of whether defense is communicating, working as a team. That two-man game, it can be so successful when there's breakdown defensively, communicating, and the ISOs. Like the two basic things, right, that you want your team to be able to do easily. And it's just a matter of the teams not playing together as much, but I think the level is there, the stick work is there. It's just that lack of IQ of consistently playing together.
Slick handle off of the draw for Gagnon, number 17, and White for LGC. Again, she is headed out west, becoming a Trojan, USC. Behind the cage, closely guarded. Shot by McElwee, knocked down. Good defense by Madison Paler of Crush. Ball's loose. Parasino, nifty look inside. Shot saved by Hammerslag. Good ball movement, but Hammerslag again showing off her talent, denying Alex Parasino on the doorstep.
Julia looks so tiny in the goal cage, but she plays big. It's that quickness, that athleticism that makes her really successful between the pipes.
Younger brother Blake is a handful. I know I coached him for a couple of years, and Julia's got to be quick, especially at the dinner table. Nice move from X. This is Gagnon again. Good defense by Corey Edmondson of Crush. Gagnon wants to try it again. Quick double. We've got a violation against Crush. Ball will stay with White with LGC. Tough angle, free position opportunity right here for Gagnon. We'll see if she elects to pull it out, feed it, or take the shot. She does the former. Aracino from Hahn. To steer the lefty down low. Behind the cage to Pino. Pino is headed to Lehigh University. Long possessions here. No possession clock in this game. Gagnon again working against the defense of Edmondson. Excuse me, check that. That was Ava Class.
I think one of the biggest differences in women's and high school girls lacrosse is the ability to be able to move even though a foul is called. And it's made the game better. It's made it faster, not just for the players, but for the fans as well.
Definitely seen an increase in scoring in the women's collegiate game over the years. Has that trickled down into the high school level too?
It has. You know, I think the lack of having a shot clock is a difference where, okay, maybe the games are in the teens as opposed to in the 20s that you see at the collegiate level. But regardless, you know, it still gives an opportunity to head to the cage a whole lot more, pushing those fast breaks.
6:30 left to go here, first half. 2-2, LGC and Crush. This is Gagnon. Now under the watchful eye of Edmondson from Crush. These two like the matchup. Two physical, talented players. McElwee gets a pick. She got free for a moment. And then they're calling an illegal screen on LGC. Possession goes over to Crush.
It was a great defensive possession by Crush. Corey Edmondson, again, she is the one who first put the Crush on the board, showing what she can do on the defensive end as well.
Going to have a violation against LGC.
A quick little pump fake by Corey Edmondson, or I'm sorry, by number 36, looking for that shooting space call, and she earned it. Sometimes that's all it takes. Quick little fake.
We apologize. We're trying to identify 36. She could be the player that left her penny back at home. Had to get an extra one.
It happens.
It does, especially in the summer. After a long stretch on defense, Crush back in the offensive half of the field. Taylor Abernathy, Penn State commit, on the field now for Crush. Nice little give and go behind the cage. Good knockdown. Nice defense by LGC. That is Paris Colgate with a terrific defensive play, and that is not the possession Crush wanted.
Paris is a very smart defender. Not surprised that she's headed to Hopkins. While you look at her and don't think of her blazing speed, she knows how to play angles. She knows how to move her feet well. And that defensive set, I believe that's the second time that she's created a cause turnover this game.
Will play her college lacrosse right down the road at Johns Hopkins University. So good defensive play by LGC has the Gators back on offense. Pino, Gagnon back on the field for White. Nice feed up top. This is Colgate. She has that whole left side cleared out. They're definitely playing her to her right. They want her to go left. Now she's underneath, under pressure. Double errant pass will roll out of bounds. Good doubling aggressive defense by Crush creates the turnover.
Looks like the Crush is hitting their stride on the defensive end. The last two defensive sets, they've been able to create cause turnovers due to their communication, their quick feet, their quick, intensive doubles, and their pressure defense.
Good leg out by Devin Greenfield from the defensive end into the offensive zone for Crush. Coming up on a 3.5-minute mark here in the first half. Caroline Godine into the ball game for Crush. Midfield of Edmondson, Little, and Abernathy working up top. Turning the corner is Marsh. Shot and a score. Check that. That's number 13, Godine. From the crush. Head of steam, around goal line extended, gets right to that island area of the field and whips it past the LGC netminder. It's 3-2.
Caroline Godine, number 13. She's a class of the 2022. You were able to see her shiftiness around the goal cage. As soon as she caught that ball, she saw a little bit of lack of communication on the defense. LGC is switching players if they feel that they have enough space, but she saw that lane, was able to take her nice and quick and high on the top side. I think that defensive player thought she was going to do a quick jab, roll on the underneath, but she kind of faked everyone out there.
Yeah. Heck of a turn right there. Hahn with the clean win on the draw. You mentioned the lineage of the Hahn family. Her father, Matt, one of the all-time leading scorers at the University of Maryland. Her mother, Helen Marie, your teammate from back in the day, winning multiple national championships. Steer weaves through the defense, shot tipped over top the cage. Steer again, looking to initiate the offense up top, gives it up to Pino. Pino, a little rollback, creates some space for the feed. Lauren Steer down low, number 12, the lefty. Gets it up top to Gagnon. It's Natalie Shirtliff now being chased around this Meadowwood turf. 1:25 left to go here, first half. Kendall Steer. Feed into the middle. Pino handles it, falling to the turf. Ball comes loose. Shot doesn't make it to the cage, but LGC is able to maintain possession. Feed up top to Shirtliff. Shirtliff over to Steer. Steer with the shot, save Hammerschlag. Good offense, but again, Julia Hammerschlag in the right spot at the right time to make another quality save.
You see why she's headed to the University of Florida. And I think just experience-wise right now, that's what the Crush is relying on. They've been in these big games. They've been in these settings. They kind of have their feet underneath of them at this point. It's no longer nerve-wracking, and they're kind of hitting their stride.
Coming up, under 40 seconds left to go here in the first half. Whistle stops play. Clock continues to melt away. 20 seconds left to go here in the first half. Restart from Madison Beal, and a shot to score. Steer passes it inside to McElwee, and just like that, we are level set at 3.
Water break halfway through the second half. Caitlin McElwee taking that nice feed from up top, Kendall Steer. So you see she gets the ball, initiates the dodge. That's what gets the defenders looking at her. McElwee able to slip through right from that top center. That's all it takes, a few seconds.
Yeah.
For that quick goal to tie things back up.
And that goal happened with less than 10 seconds left in the first half. 3-3 is your score at halftime. LGC and Crush all tied up. Championship game of the 2020 High School Championships presented by Corrigan Sports. Stick around. Second half action is coming your way momentarily.
You're more than your successes. You're more than your failures. You're the work. You want that smoke? Give them that fire.
and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
"2020 has been deemed the year of the game film. Corrigan Sports Enterprises and the All-America Games are committed to getting you recruited this summer despite the NCAA restrictions regarding COVID-19. With the help of First Scout Productions, all college coaches will have the ability to access your tryout game film for free. Here's how. College coaches will all get an email and be able to click into our system. After following a couple easy steps, they will be cleared to watch all of the tryout games on demand. It really is that simple. Corrigan Sports has made it as easy as possible for players to end up in the right spot for their college careers. Each college coach will also get a PDF file with all numerical rosters and player names. Players, parents, and coaches keep an eye on the main event webpage as tryout locations, dates, and times are being updated as soon as we nail them down. Let's make the best of the hand we've been dealt in 2020 with Corrigan Sports and the All-America Tryouts.
To be able to identify prospects when we're out recruiting, it's really important for us as college coaches to have accurate information in the coaches' manuals that we're given.
Whether it's live stream or on demand, I think that everyone will go the film route if we can.
Find some shade if you can here at Meadowood Park in Brooklynville, Maryland. It is a hot, steamy Baltimore afternoon, and we have got a terrific game here at the 2020 championship for the high school championships presented by Corrigan Sports. 3-3, LGC and Orange Crush. Mark Dixon, Courtney, Martinez, Connor. Pleased to be bringing you the action, and we saw some terrific lacrosse and some, not a lot of goals, but the goals that were scored, pretty special.
First putting LGC on the board was Christina Gagnon. We saw that nice little elbow dodge, kind of bulldodging her way through. Ultimately, that took it to 1-1. Corey Edmondson tying things up, just a sophomore, with that nice little inside pull move down that alleyway. The game was now set at 1-1 between LGC and the Crush. And then we had a feed inside to Kendall Steer with that top righty iso dodge. Righty is her dominant hand. Next tying it up for the Crush, Dakota Huey from Izzy March. That two-man game, nice and easy, but then again, Crush was on a run. And we had a quick little move from Caroline Godine showing her speed, going hard around the crease. That put the Crush up by a score of 3-2. And then right before half, just slipping it in, a feed from Kendall Steer, a nice little slip cut from Caitlin McElwee to tie things up at 3-3.
And it was a back and forth game, and that was a huge goal by LGC at the end of the first half of action. As a coach, you give up those late quarter goals, they can be backbreakers.
Yeah, they had been playing so well defensively, and I think that shows the resilience of LGC. Crush was doing well defensively. They made a few changes, squeaked one in, and ideally you want to have a one-goal little cushion. Things are tied, makes it a little bit more exciting for the fans. But I think LGC, which again is comprised of St. Paul's players of all grad years, they're finding their legs at this point.
If 3-3 is the score, dogs are out. Mom and dad's out, brother and sister are out, checking out some great long overdue high school lacrosse action. We'll have the start of the second half. When we get back, LGC 3, Crush 3.
You're more than your successes. You're more than your failures.
You nasty.
You're the work. You want that smoke? Give him that fire.
Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
(2020) has been deemed the year of the game film. Corrigan Sports Enterprises and the All-American Games are committed to getting you recruited this summer despite the NCAA restrictions regarding COVID-19. With the help of First Scout Productions, all college coaches will have the ability to access your tryout game film for free. Here's how. College coaches will all get an email and be able to click into our system. After following a couple easy steps, they will be cleared to watch all of the tryout games on demand. It really is that simple. Corrigan Sports has made it as easy as possible for players to end up in the right spot for their college careers. Each college coach will also get a PDF file with all numerical rosters and player names. Players, parents, and coaches keep an eye on the main event webpage as tryout locations, dates, and times are being updated as soon as we nail them down. Let's make the best of the hand we've been dealt in 2020 with Corrigan Sports and the All-America Tryouts.
Sunsplash afternoon here at Meadowwood Park, Brooklynville, Maryland. Championship game of the 2020 High School Championships presented by Corrigan Sports. LGC 3, Crush 3. Mark Dixon, Courtney Martinez, Connor, excited to bring you the second half of action. Same rules, 25-minute running clock, but there will be start-stop and a water break here in the second half.
Final 2 minutes, starting and stopping. That's when everything gets exciting.
Yes.
End of the game.
Kayla Abernathy at the draw circle for Crush. Looks like she's taking on Josie Hunt, number 15, in white. Again, LGC, St. Paul School for Girls, right up the street here in Brooklynville. The Orange Crush, the McDonough Eagles. And we are off. Edmondson gobbles up a loose ball, gets the ball down on the offensive zone for Crush. Good defense by LGC. Number 9 is Olivia Rose. Crush setting up behind the cage. Godine, who scored the last goal for Crush. Up top to Abernathy.
There's so many offensive weapons that the Crush has.
Abernathy head of steam, shot goes wide. Leah Wareheim is the new goaltender between the pipes for St. Paul's. A Georgetown commit is Wareheim. Abernathy with another run to cage. Quick double. Abernathy shoots, goes wide, but we had a whistle. We'll stop play.
Even though the foul happened, she took a shot. If there wasn't a secondary foul, then the play would have gone on, but they are issuing a yellow card to LGC. So being a man up, we'll see if the Crush chooses to take their 8-meter shot or to give it some time. Give it some time. It's 2 minutes, non-releasable.
Abernathy steps in, shot. Wareheim was on it, deflects it. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession stays with Crush. Paris Colgane is the offending player that will sit in the penalty box for up to 2 minutes for LGC. Corey Edmondson now corrals a loose ball up top.
So there's two different thoughts, especially at the high school level. Because it's 2 minutes, non-releasable, some teams choose to take as many shots as they can, trying to get as many goals as they can during that 2-minute time frame, whereas others are a little bit more patient.
Wareheim has been good between the pipes. Nice knockdown in front by Laney Cornelius. She was all over the field in the first half. We finally were able to pin down her name at halftime. Cornelius, a good-looking lefty defender for LGC. Marsh, nice feed up front. Shot and a score. The high bouncer, Lily B. Cope, takes the feed, bounces it past the netminder, and crushes back up by 1.
A little bit of patience with some risk in that man-up offense that we just saw from the Crush. A couple feeds inside that were a little bit questionable, but it was their ability to ride and get the ball back to give them a second and third chance. Ultimately, number 36 giving that goal to the Crush, Lily B. Cope, a rising junior. We see her at the top of the field streaking through, able to find a little head of the stick. That's all you need. Head of the stick, and you are able to catch and finish.
Abernathy and Gagnon, teams back at equal strength after that Cope goal for Crush. Edmondson again with the nifty handle, one-handed, chugs it into the offensive zone. Ball now behind the cage for Crush. Feet up front. Good recovery by the defense of Gagnon. Late substitution as Kemper Robinson handles for Crush. Gets the ball behind to Izzy Marsh. Lizzie Parasino headed to James Madison, checks into the game for LGC. She is guarding Ella Little of Crush. Edmondson, head of steam, ducks underneath, shot, save, Wareheim. Nice save, and in transition, here comes Gagnon for LGC. Under a bevy of pressure from Crush, draws the whistle. Possession will stay. And how about the save from Wareheim?
Nice, quick, crisp passes by the Crush, but look at that dodge. It's in tight. It was a 1v none essentially with the goalkeeper, and a great save by Leah Wareheim of LGC.
Wareheim has come in and made several key stops early here in the second half for LGC. Kendall Steer operating off the wing. Over to Natalie Shirtliff. Shirtliff up top to Kaiten McElwee. Another James Madison commit. One of 3 on this LGC roster.
It's always good when coaches can create pipelines, whether it's from a high school or a club team, and players that have played together for a long amount of time. Hopefully that means they bring that collective level of playing field into that collegiate realm.
James Madison, a fine program, definitely reaping the rewards of winning a national championship a couple seasons ago, raising the profile of that already prolific women's lacrosse program. McElwee, feet inside, Twister shot, doesn't get to cage. Nice ground ball, tough ground ball picked up by Josie Hunt. What a gritty play to save possession for LGC. Good defense by Christina Bennett of Crush. But that ground ball by Hahn, that is when you talk about a midfielder like Josie Hunt, that is just some of the little things she does that catches the eye of coaches and spectators alike.
And she can run for days. So
that always helps. Angela Pino operating up top, rolling back. Met with a quick double. Kendall Steer operating up top. Nice shifty move. Path to goal. Shot just bounces over the cage. Good one-on-one juke by Kendall Steer, showing some incredible shiftiness, but shot just goes a little high.
Hammerschlag again with an amazing save. Even though she's small, she takes up a lot of that goal cage by playing very big.
Steer again. She feels like she's got some mojo. Cycles the ball behind the cage. Parasino with the little cut is well defended by Bennett. Feed up top. Franny Hahn, younger sister of Josie. Pino now.
We see McDonough, which is the Crush, comprised of a lot of defensive plays depending upon who has the ball, sending quick doubles or even quick little backers trying to deter the Dodger.
Steer, another impressive dodge, gets right to the middle of that defense, draws a whistle, and we're going to have a foul on Kendall Steer, who looks like she's shaken up a little bit off of that last play, grabbing her side. Steer will have a free position with a good angle, but she looks to be a little gimpy. Hammerschlag and Steer, though. Steer, eyes locked on the Crush goaltender. Steer steps in, head of steam, shot to goal! Kendall Steer on the free position, whistles it past Hammerschlag, and we are tied once again at 4.
Kendall Steer with that number 20. This is her second goal of the game. This one off of an 8-meter, her first one coming, showing her speed off of a top dodge. This shows us her speed off of the 8-meter. It's all about the quickness off the line. Quickness, and then you obviously have to finish your shot, but that quick start, shooting to that near side may look easy, but it's not with crashing defenders to your left and right.
Steer has been incredibly impressive all game. She is an initiator from up top. Great first step. I like that little quick hit she has to her right. Gets space between her and her defender, and then she does a great job of getting underneath and increasing her angle for a good shot. Draw is controlled by LGC. Alex Parasino operating up top, gets it over to Steer, to McElwee. Gagnon behind the cage, looking for a cutter. High picks being set right now for LGC. A little bit of a clear out for Gagnon. Pass knocked down inside by the Crush. Good stick in the lane. And a turnover created, and here come the Crush. Really nice defense. I believe it was number 7 for Crush, Sydney Smith, with that knockdown.
And that was a great knockdown because it was a wide open LGC cutter inside of that 8-meter. Clearly miscommunication from the defensive stack by the Crush, but low players defensively, able to have their stick in the passing lane to knock down that wide open feed to the inside.
Approaching the 15-minute mark here of the second half. We've got a good one. LGC 4, Crush 4. Battle of IAAM heavyweights.
You had to say that fast 3 times.
I can't even say it once correctly. Stop it. Kemper Robinson directing the offense up top for Crush. Good step inside, draws a quick double, looking to pass it off. Redodge. Ball is put onto the turf, and we have a foul against LGC. Possession will stay with Crush. Robinson gets ahead of steam. Shot doesn't make it to goal. Whistle will stop play.
Looks like another 8-meter is awarded because they said a defensive player was inside of the goal circle. So now this is a better hash, quite honestly, for an 8-meter.
Robinson ducks in. Nice trail check. Kendall Steer with the defense. Ground ball gobbled up by LGC. And here come the Gators in transition. Josie Hunt legging it across midfield. Dangerous pass, knocked down. Good step up by Ava Class of Crush. And here come the Crush the other way. Keedy Lally can't handle the rock. Eventually picks it up, gets it over to Cope. Cope bearing down on this LGC defense, gets dumped to the turf. Whistle stops play, and the ball will stay with Crush.
Ava Class with several knockdowns, anticipating the ball in the middle of the field throughout the game today. Class, a name that you remember well. Her brother Deemer played at Duke, plays professionally now.
Loyola High School.
Her sister, both, she has two of them, both continuing on their collegiate careers.
Class is a commit to Michigan, University of Michigan. Hannah Nielson doing some really nice things with that Wolverine program in Ann Arbor. Feed in front. Abernathy with a nice handle, pulls it out. Nice knockdown by LGC, but it still trickles into the cross of Edmondson. Edmondson feed into the middle, shot and a goal. That is Ella Little. Little with the sweet handle inside. Nice shot, puts Crush up by a goal.
Corey Edmondson, we seem to be saying her name quite a lot today, involved on both ends of the field, defensively in some big matchups. But then offensively, it's not just her ability to dodge hard to the cage, but her ability to have her head up, feed off of her dodges, see wide open cutters that I think separates her and probably is one of the top 22s in that class. Again, we see that replay right now of a nice dodge from Corey Edmondson and a little quick feed inside.
5-4 is your score. Crush leads LGC. 12 minutes, 14 seconds left to go. We're in a water break. Stick around, come right back. We've got a terrific game about to conclude.
To be able to identify prospects when we're out recruiting, it's really important for us as college coaches to have accurate information in the coaches' manuals that we're given.
Whether it's live stream or on demand, I think that everyone will go the film route if we can.
Good crowd here on hand. Meadowwood Park, Brooklynville, Maryland. Mark Dixon, Courtney Martinez, Connor. We've got a terrific women's lacrosse game. There are the LGC Gators, a.k.a. St. Paul's. Every time Crush has gone up by a goal, the Gators have had an answer. Some terrific players on their side. Who stands out so far for you from LGC?
Oh gosh, LGC, I think Kendall Steer has done a great job of not just putting goals into the back of the net, but running the midfield as well, making some defensive plays. For the Crush, I could name, I feel like, 5 different players who are doing those little things. But when you look at both sides of the field, I'd have to say Corey Edmondson, 2 22s that have kind of just stepped up while all eyes are on older players, right? You have Lizzie Marsh, who has done a great job, Josie Hunt, who's also done a great job. So it's kind of opened up the lane for those younger players.
And you talk about those younger players, a lot of people They didn't have an opportunity to play their spring season. Their summer's been a challenge. You've played at the highest level. You've coached at the highest level. What advice would you give to these young athletes that want to play in college but are a little bit challenged right now with just the COVID environment?
You know, this is giving them confidence. They didn't get to play their sophomore season. Some of these guys out on the field are freshmen. A few that we've seen, obviously the younger Steer, Lauren Steer, and to not play a high school season, but then to try and step in and out of summer and have coaches watching your game film, even though they're not on the sideline, they're kind of there with you in spirit as they watch the games. So,
you always hear that coach's voice in your head.
Yeah, so it's just giving them the confidence to say, okay, wait a second, I can do it. These are two of the top teams in the country, and to be able to step on the field, I think, speaks volumes.
After the turnover by Crush, LGC trying to clear it. Terrific individual effort by Olivia Rose, getting it over that midfield line. Some tough clearing. Gets it out of harm's way in the stick of McElwee.
So, player was looking for a card to be called. Obviously, 3 players swarming. You know, we've seen a lot of yellow cards handed out this tournament. I think so far 2 this game. And the referee's trying to keep things safe.
Sure.
This is the first time that a lot of these players are out on the field. This weekend is the first week of, you know, these tournaments that are modified in order for them to be able to play. So,
well, tip of the cap to Corrigan Sports for putting on this event, making it happen, giving these young women an opportunity to showcase their talent, compete, and play some lacrosse. Julia Hammerschlag corrals the loose ball, puts it back into her goal crease. Now Crush will look to clear. Devin Greenfield streaking out of her defensive zone. Gets over midfield. Dangerous pass into the middle, but handled nicely by Sydney Smith, who gets it underneath to Abernathy. Ten minutes left to go in this one. Crush 5, LGC 4. Hot, humid day here in the Baltimore area. Again, LGC defeated Deerfield in the semifinals. Crush defeated the Green Machine, otherwise known as Bryn Mawr School, in the other half of the bracket to get to this championship tilt. Flip play up top, Abernathy and Little. Abernathy head of steam to the goal, Wareheim. Nice save by Wareheim. And here comes LGC with another opportunity to tie this game up. Rose with the clear. She has been really impressive between the lines for LGC.
Showcasing her speed, Olivia is a lefty, I want to say, but not by choice. I actually coached her when she was younger, and I didn't realize she wasn't a lefty, so I kind of forced her to play left. But
shot real quick there by Lauren Steer, but Hammerschlag defends her pipe well and keeps it out of the back of the cage. Possession back over to Crush.
You know, again, another athletic family. Her uncle played at Maryland. Her mom and dad played sports. Her mom was a soccer player in college. And that's, I think, what we're seeing now. This age group just has a bunch of parents who knows what it takes to kind of play at that next level, and their kids are kind of taking the reins in.
Isn't it scary? It's like the people that we played with, their kids are now this age. My kids included, high school age, college recruiting age.
It's fun. It's a fun time to
fun.
See where all these kids are going.
Getting old, though, man. I don't like it. 8.5 minutes left in this game. 5-4, Crush leading LGC. On defense for LGC, number 25, Madison Beal. This is Cornelius defending Izzy Marsh. Marsh slips behind the cage, regains her footing. Nice feed inside. Cope can't handle. Good knockdown. Wareheim now with the ball on her cross. And LGC looking to clear. Nice feed up top to Gagnon. Gagnon is underneath of the Crush defense. Has a little bit of a transition opportunity. Head of steam shot just over the cage. Backed up by LGC. Possession will stay with the Gators. Gagnon knocked to the turf. Her goggles fell off. Referees will blow their whistle and allow her to get herself situated before they commence play again.
That was a head of steam. A head of steam.
That was downhill.
Like a freight train heading to goal. You know, all she needed was a little bit more of a sight of that goal cage because she had time, room, and space to really wind up.
Hammerschlag has been good between the pipes. You think maybe she was thinking about that shot a little bit?
Yeah, it's tough when you have a goalkeeper who's made countless saves left and right. It's got to be in the back of your mind a little bit.
Gagnon working against the good defense of Ava Class. Class has been impressive on that defensive end for Crush. Gagnon giving another whirl, has leverage, draws a double. Kendall Steer, feet inside, great handle, shot, save, Hammerschlag. What a handle by Gagnon. Equally impressive save by Hammerschlag, and Crush looking to get the ball back from defense to offense.
I think where LGC was successful was allowing those younger players to have a little bit more involvement because the quick doubles are coming by the Orange Crush to all of those top players who they've relied on over the years.
Terrific re-defend by LGC. And we're going to have a push call against the Gators. Here's a transition opportunity for Crush. Pass is a little tall. Ball goes out of bounds, and possession will go over to LGC.
A bit of back and forth with it, which I think is exciting. I mean, you can hear the fans around not loving a call one way or the other, but it's a one-goal game, and I think this is what everybody was expecting. It's a little bit of revenge, hopefully, for LGC, is what many of their players said, whereas the Crush players are looking to kind of cap off their high school career with yet another win. In their eyes, this is as if they were playing in that high school IAAM championship or the next best thing.
A little bit of backdrop. McDonough defeated St. Paul 6-5 in double overtime for the 2019 IAAM championship. And in the regular season that year, it was an overtime win by McDonough. So these two teams very familiar with each other. Tremendous competitors. They play great close games. And we're seeing another one here this afternoon. Coming up on 5 minutes left in the game. Crush leading 5-4. Who do you expect LGC to go to in this situation to try to tie things up?
I mean, there's always your go-tos, right? You have Marsh, you have Hahn, but I think take them by surprise. If I'm the LGC coaches, I want to put it in somebody else's stick who's already proven that they can do it.
We have a call against LGC. Possession to Crush, and here come the Crush in another transition opportunity. Referees are going to stop play. And we have a card being issued to one of the LGC players. LGC will go one person down for up to 2 minutes. Crush will enjoy the extra attacker for that same time frame. It is 5-4. Crush leading LGC. You mentioned all the different variations you can have with the extra attacker. This is probably going to be take some time off the clock.
Absolutely. With less than 4 minutes left in the game, you want to take as much of that 2 minutes off the clock as you can, and then look to initiate with about 20 seconds on, giving yourself some time for option one, option two. Now, granted, each of these teams are being coached by alums, so not their regular coaches from their high school season. So there's no mastermind play by Taylor Cummings right now of how to make sure they keep that one-goal lead and hopefully turn it into two. Now, same thing, to try and man down, get the ball back is difficult. Difficult for LGC to be able to come up with that. So it's more so a matter of a great save by the goalie over the next minute.
Edmondson had the ball, ran it around, killed some clock. This is Abernathy to Little. Nice stick check. Cope can't get away from the defense of LGC. That's the turnover they need. This is Laney Cornelius. She's been impressive all afternoon. Legs it up the field. Here comes LGC. They've got numbers, 3-on-3. McElwee attacks, shot, doesn't hit the cage, hit a defender. Feet up front, shot, save, Hammerschlag. And we're going to have another foul against Crush. The whistle stops play, and it's going to be a card against Crush as Alex Parasino got dumped to the turf after that shot opportunity. And Crush will go one player down for up to 2 minutes. Golden opportunity for LGC. Free position shot, good angle. Parasino pulls it out. And now LGC has killed their penalty, so they will be playing with the extra attacker. Kendall Steer, up to Gagnon. Over to Lauren Steer. Tough pass, handcuff Pino, but she's able to come up with it. Nice handle. Steer sizing up her defender.
We see two offensive players moving inside, picking and popping.
Gagnon shot. Bouncer just goes wide. Backed up by Steer.
Again, as the ball's moving quickly with those players inside, they've added a third, moving together, looking to create confusion.
Gagnon, little stick fake shot, just goes wide.
For the defense, and they're getting the looks.
LGC, you took the words right out of my mouth. They're getting their looks.
It's just a matter of finishing the ball.
We are in a start-stop situation here. 1:14 left in the game and counting. Kendall Steer working down to the left of right-handed goaltender Hammerschlag. Feet up top to Gagnon. Gagnon has taken the last couple shots. She gets dumped to the turf. Whistle will stop play. Edmondson with the foul for Crush. 1 minute left to go in the game. Gagnon with a decent angle. Will she try to get underneath and shoot it, or will she pull it out? Gagnon steps in, shot, Hammerschlag, up to the task, rebound, McElwee. McElwee wheeling and dealing, looking to shoot it, feeds inside, Gagnon, stick check, ball goes over the cage. Out of bounds, backed up by LGC, 50 seconds remaining. Some terrific shot action for the Gators. Here comes the Orange Crush player. We are all even. Catch behind the cage. It's up to Parasino. Parasino surveying the defense. Hits Kendall Steer. Steer with a head of steam. Loses the ball on the turf. Picked up by Crush. Devin Greenfield legging it out. Gets it up to Ella Little. 30 seconds left in the game. Blake Cooning handling it for Crush. Gets it over to Godine. 17 seconds left. Mishandle in the middle of the field, and here comes LGC. Pass up top. Whistle will stop play, however. And a foul against LGC with 13 seconds left gives the ball back to Crush.
What a great defensive play that started out that sequence. Steer was headed towards the cage with a head of steam. Ava Class coming in and getting the trail check.
5 seconds left. Godine is legging it out. She will run the rest of the clock out, and that'll do it. The Crush of McDonough in a terrific game edge the LGC Gators of St. Paul's 5-4 in a terrific game with some incredible athletes. And we were treated to some really, really good goaltending by both teams, especially late in the game.
Absolutely. I think Julia Hammerschlag, I'd have to give her the go-ahead. A lot of great saves to end and keep her team with the win. But ultimately, it was that heart that the Crush had of a little bit of pride, wanting to finish strong for a lot of their seniors with having that win before they head off to college.
We take a look at the highlights. Gagnon, who was a force all game long for LGC, she got the scoring started, and she was impressive all afternoon.
A lot of 1v1s, a lot of 2v2s that we saw. Again, it's all about the basics, especially when you haven't been out with your team for a lot. It's what we saw throughout the entire game for both LGC and the Crush. Some quick inside moves just like that from Corey Edmondson. Again, a class of 22. We saw some veterans and we saw some younger players out there, underclass, being able to take the ball. Right here, Kendall Steer, number 20, taking that feed inside, turning the corner. So great moves. I think early on, some IQ issues, but it kind of worked itself out as the game went on. And 5-4, maybe a little bit tighter than what any of the parents would have liked, but I think it was very impressive. Not a lot of dangerous sticks out there swinging. I think these girls were very polished and impressive in their first event back after 3 months.
It was a back and forth game, 3-3 at the half, and then Crush just able to score one more in the second half. Both teams had to endure man down opportunities. And again, the goaltending was just superb on both sides throughout this game, and that proved to be the game winner right there. Lily B. Cope with that streaking catch and shoot off of the stick of Izzy Marsh. And again, just such a well-played game. Actually, that was Corey Edmondson with the game winner. And this will be it right here. Gets underneath, and you were impressed with her all game long.
All game. You know, I think it was her ability to make plays on the defensive end as well as to make moves offensively. That was the tying goal for LGC. You know, they wouldn't go away. They were fighting throughout the entire game, which I think was great. A lot of back and forth balls all the way literally to the very end. They got the ball back with 8 seconds left. Then a foul happened. You know, they were battling. Now, right there, that was that little game winner to Ella Little inside. She's heading off to UNC. But again, Corey Edmondson was involved. And, you know, I think the future's bright for the Crush, a.k.a. McDonough.
Yep.
But
and LGC as well. The
yeah.
Gators. I mean, some heck of a players on both sides. So that'll do it from here in Brooklynville, Maryland. Your final score, Crush 5, LGC 4. Thanks for watching on the Corrigan Sports Network. For Courtney